Guys, it's Monica and welcome back. Today we are making a Hyperion Tack Tumbler. So, if you saw my video from a few months ago, I had made all of these sublimation tumblers for my husband's basketball team. And so I messed up on some of them, and my husband's just like, what's wrong with these? Like, my husband's one of the people, like, even if it's imperfect, especially if they're not paying for it, they should just accept it. Whereas me, I'm only putting out perfection in the world because this could be a potential customer. So, yeah, if it's not perfect, it's not. Oh my goodness, y'all. And I'm gonna get to it in a minute. You're probably like, girl, what just happened? I'm gonna get to it. Okay, so this is actually a sublimation tumbler. It's one of those Hog Duo Sport tumblers. And so I was like, oh, I'm just gonna make myself a gym cup. And so I just went in with some sandpaper and just sanded down this coat, just trying to get that shininess off of it to make sure that the paint and the glitter will stick. And so, yeah, that's what I did for that. And I just cleaned it up with a little bit of alcohol on the paper towel. Oh, shit. Oh, sorry, y'all. Something just fell. Anyways, and so next I'm going to go ahead and cover it with the chalk paint. This is just some chalk paint. I'm still using this chalk paint from Walmart. I really love this stuff. It has great one coat coverage. It's nice and matte. Really quickly, speaking of blue paints, so y'all know I don't know if I've ever like said this outright, but I used to work at Boeing, and there's so much stuff going on with Boeing right now. And one of our sayings that when I worked at Boeing was, if it ain't Boeing, I ain't going. And now people's like, if it's a Boeing, I ain't going. And it's like, oh, y'all are reading us to fucking death. But yeah, I don't work at Boeing anymore. Now I make weapons. Anyways, so that is how it looks when it is wet. I'm going to set this to the side and give it at least an hour to dry. And that's how it looked like. That is just such a beautiful matte color. I remember one time I had a color like that on my nails and I loved it. Okay, so we're going to make a tack it tumbler. This uses the tack it over and over again. Essentially, tack it over and over again is like, think about your cutting mat and how like it's always sticky. Same concept with the tack it over and over again. Like, it's really supposed to be used for like fabric and like you can shift fabric around and stuff like that, and like cardstock and stuff like that without having to glue it in place, but the tack it holds it in place. We have since hijacked that in the glittering community, and we found that using tack it lays glitter down super flat and creates this really cool effect, especially for like color changing, iridescence, and holographics. Those are the ones I recommend you do use with the tack it over and over again to get like this same kind of look. And so I'm just going to go in one coat. I feel like you only need one coat to tack it when you're using the right base color. Because if you use a base color that's not close to your glitter color, then there may be like a small little gap, especially depending on the cut of your glitter, like how fine your glitter is, and it may show through. So just something to keep that in mind when doing tack it. But yeah, just one coat. Mine is pretty thick just because the weather, I feel like sometimes, a lot of times we don't acknowledge the effects that weather has on crafting, and I'll touch on that a little bit later as far as dry time with the Hyperion. But yeah, so mine's just a little thicker just because it's the weather. But yeah, it was a newer bottle. I think I've only used it like twice. So that's what that looks like. Set that to the side. You're not going to come back to this until it is glossy. And so that's why I like using a matte paint, because you can see, boom, here, it's glossy. Sorry about that. So if it's glossy like this, you have no white streaks left, then we're ready to use it. And so I'm using some chameleon glitter. So I'm choosing to use a color changing glitter. And you're probably like, girl, we cannot see what the hell going on. Like, I'm about to turn the light on. Because I prefer the lighting in my craft room in the daytime. And I don't really like having to film with studio lights. But in this case, it was required because time hadn't changed yet when I started this cup. You can see I still got my Valentine's Day nails. So y'all, I'm trying to get better. I know I say that every video, but like, I was sick, then my husband had COVID. I just got done having the flu. So I'm trying my best to make it. I have so many ideas and I just need to put them in place. Oh, one idea that I do have, y'all. Do y'all want me to start doing like weekly business vlogs? Like y'all seeing me like do the filming and like how I'm running the business for the week, packing order, just kind of talking to you guys. It's something that I want to do, but if you guys don't want to see it, then I won't show it to you. But if it's something you think you might want to see, please leave a comment below and I'll get that pumping. Okay, so with Tack It, you glitter it like it's a regular tumbler, and then you can immediately go in and start rubbing. And you can see the difference from the top where it's glittered and the bottom where I've rubbed it in. And what that does, all you've done essentially was flatten out the glitter, rub it into that tacket, and like I said, you just flattened it out, which is, it just gives it a whole different effect. It's not, you're not doing like, you're not creating magic. I hate to break it to you, baby, but you're not creating, we're using our minds and we've done something cool. But yeah. And so you're going to do this just over the whole cup. I've done it with the insert that's in the cup. Like if your fingers get like a little tired or you're worried, like you're going to be on an episode of Law and Order and you need to get rid of your fingerprints, like you can use something else. Like I said, the foam insert for the cups is something I've used before. And it'll still come off here. You ain't got to worry about that. But yeah, fingers is usually just the quickest. And that is what that looks like. And you can immediately from here start your coating. And so you can use the Hyperion as a sealing layer, but I'm just using polyacrylic because why not? Yeah, I'll leave a link to all the stuff that I use below. So if anybody asks me, I know you didn't watch the video. Like I said in the Instagram video this week, I will probably block you because I have to start protecting my peace. Y'all don't understand. I had one person leave a comment the other day and was like, what is that? So, you know how I'm using polyacrylic here on that particular video. I use Quick Coat, and I listed a link to the Quick Coat in the description box. And someone left a comment, was like, what is that Quick Coat that you used? And this is why I say that I worry about y'all. Because I don't know how I can help y'all more than stating it, writing it down, and just trying to give y'all the tools. But like, baby, I can't do it no more. I love y'all. I want to be here with y'all. I rock with y'all. But baby, y'all ain't going to drive me into psychoness because y'all know I got engineering degrees. My engineering teachers probably would have put you out of class for that because you don't read. And that was a lot of their pet peeves, was not people not reading. Anyways, so Hyperion. Hyperion is an epoxy alternative, much like Bright Tone, Grand Finale, in that same family. And so, yeah, if you're not an epoxy girl, or for whatever reason, we're not going to get into it, y'all. That we're in a new year, and I'm glad we're all still here. But yeah, so this is one, excuse me, where you use multiple coats in order to still create that glass-like finish. And so you see me initially going in with my finger. Spoiler alert, you were actually supposed to use a brush, but I don't be reading instructions. Like I've had this for like over a year, and I probably did it the right way the first time, but for some reason in my mind, I could just use my finger. And I do eventually switch to a brush later in the video because I wasn't liking the results that I was getting from using my finger. So Hyperion, definitely want to use a brush, be a brush girly. So let's talk weather, recoat time, and all that. And so according to Hyperion, you can recoat every 2 hours. Great, amazing, love it. It is cold in Colorado. It's currently 15 inches of snow outside my house right now, which I won't be venturing out into because I love life. But because it is cold, I feel like it takes a little longer to set. And the same thing with epoxy. In cooler environments, epoxy takes longer to set. And so I was actually going 4 hours between coats. And you can see that my cup spinner is up against the window. So of course it's a little cooler just naturally because window. And so I was waiting 4 hours. Definitely do whatever's best for you. Tip being, just make sure it doesn't look milky anymore. After each coat, it should look shiny. But if it's like looking matte or it's not, there's just still, you have like milky streaks, definitely give it a little longer to set up. So yeah, just be cognizant if you're seeing this in the wintertime, you want to use it in the wintertime because that's the thing. So yeah, you can see here, I switched to the brush, baby. I was like, I feel like it's not going on there evenly with my finger. And so I switched to the brush, much better coverage, was going on there a lot more even, was giving me the immediate feedback that I was looking for. Of course, the brush catches a lot of product. That's the only thing I hate. So just make sure that you are like just scraping off the brush inside the opening of your cap. So that's that. And so I'm not showing y'all every layer, but at this point, we're probably 5-6 layers in. And so I was like, okay, let's do a little decal. I wanted to do a gym decal, but none of them were speaking to me because I go to the gym, but like, bitch, I ain't that deep in the goddamn gym. You know what I'm saying? I'm still a fat bitch. And so, I was like, okay, let's just make it cute. And so these are some new decals. The Delulu one's available. I'll make the small business one available tomorrow. The book collection, there's a whole book collection coming out. That won't be out till next week. So like this one you're seeing right now, that one actually won't come out till next week. So if you're into books or whatever and you want like some book decals and whatnot, get on the list. I always send it out in the email to my email subscribers on the website, PeriodSixDesigns.com. And so you can see here some of that unevenness while I'm going into sand. And so you're going to just sand. I'm sanding until it's smooth. And so that's all I was just trying to show you with those couple of little stops of the tumbler. And so I'm not going to always get it like completely smooth, but smoothish. And then just knowing that when I come back, the next couple of coats will smooth all that out with me. I just needed the fucking brush. And so finding a decal to match this was interesting because putting pink on this cup really spoke to me. And you wouldn't think for like a green bronze shift that pink would be the color, but I feel like pink really stood out on this cup. And so I kind of pulled a few more pink decals because I just thought that looks really good with this color. So yeah, I end up going with this one. Hot Girls Support Their Local Library. Again, that one will be available next week on PeriodSixDesigns.com. Go on the website, sign up for the newsletter in case you forget. I will send it out the morning that they come out. But yeah, I've been going to the library like, I don't know if I told y'all this, because like, again, my husband coaches basketball, and the library is like in the same parking lot as the school. And so I'll kind of drive, when I have to take him to practice, I'll drop him off and I'll go to the library, get me some books and come on home. Or I even go to like, there's other libraries. I got a card at all the library systems in the local area because some have some don't. Books I'm referring to. But yeah, with your UV DTF decal, just take your time, put it on there. It doesn't look like it's happening slow, but take your time. If y'all need a full in-depth video, if you haven't been successful with UV DTF decals, drop a note in the comments, and I'll probably just make a short form video, like a YouTube short or a Instagram reel or a TikTok, something like that. So yeah, and you're probably like, girl, why are you back to using your finger? Because just in this case only, because I had just previously sanded, I wanted to really use my finger to push the product into those peaks and valleys to help it even out. So I was just doing this to promote it being even. And then eventually I switched back to the brush. And on top of the decal, I did that. There was that first initial coat. And then I did 2 or 3 more coats. And everyone's coats number is going to be different. Because again, we're going to have different reactions and how it sets because of the weather, the room temperature, stuff like that. So everyone's is going to be different. So don't get discouraged. You'd be like, oh, well, yours had 8 coats, but mine took 10. That's completely normal, y'all. And that's completely okay. Your journey is your journey. Your cups are your cups. Your environment is your environment. So don't get discouraged. Just keep working with the product. It gets easier. So don't trip. Okay. And so after that coat you just saw, which would have been the second coat, you see, I still had these weird, like, they look like cracks, but they're not. It's just how the product settled. And I want to show you guys all of this in case you encounter it, because I don't ever want to sit here, especially when nobody, and even if a company pays me, I don't lie. So, because, bitch, that's not going to be on my spirit, me lying to people trying to get them to buy somebody's product and the product is crap. But I'm not saying this is crap, but I'm just saying I'm not going to lie about a product to y'all. And so I had this weird cracking, and I just wanted, like I said, I want to make sure I show you guys in case this happens to you. So I had 2 coats of Hyperion on there, so I felt comfortable going in with the super fine sandpaper and sanding it. And this time I'm just using the brush to push it in. That's why it doesn't look milky, because I just want to make sure that that coat that's going to come back and seal that in is just making sure it's nice and smooth, and like I don't get that cracking. I don't even know what to call it. Cracking, creasing, I don't know. But it went away. I did 2 more coats on top of that, and this is what it looks like. Super excited. You see I put the hydro top on it, so I'm still taking this to the gym, girl. It's not a gym bottle, but it is a gym bottle. You know what I'm saying? And that's how it looks. I'll leave a link to everything below. Comments or questions, leave them below. Yeah. Check out the website, PeriodSixDesigns.com. You can follow me on all socials, Instagram, TikTok, Pinterest, and over here, of course, don't forget to subscribe, at PeriodSixDesigns, and I will see you guys in the next one.